What's going on? What's going on, film fam? Welcome to another special episode of Chop Willie in the Morning, brought to you by Let the Film Speak. I am one of your hosts, Chop. Here, my main man, Willie Jack. Willie Jack, it's 2023, dog. How you feeling, brother?
Man, feeling, yeah.
Hey, you look like you feeling like you brought 22 with you, 2022 with you, bro.
None of that, boy. Left all that behind, yeah. Yeah,
You
I'm a
live
brand
all
new
that
man today,
behind?
Chop. Yeah, I'm a brand new man today, man. Yeah, it's 2023, Willie. Yeah,
2023. Hey man, happy
yeah,
new
man.
year to everybody that's watching, man. Happy new year to all the film fam and anybody else that's joining in and checking in with your boys today, man. We hope that all your dreams and aspirations come true. We hope that all your New Year's resolutions become consistent and a part of your life. You know what I mean? And we hope all the goodness, man, going into this 2023 season, man. Everybody got a clean slate now, man. So y'all better get your lives together out there, man. Get them together for sure. But
For
yeah, Willie
sure.
Jack, yeah, we got a You say what?
I said for sure, yeah, let's do it.
For sure, man. And yeah, man, we got another good week of football on the way, man. We got more important games, more playoff clinching scenarios, and we're gonna get into that. But of course, first we got to go through those house rules, man. Like, share, and subscribe. That's it, man. Point blank and point blank. Period. Like, share, and subscribe. Point blank. Period. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. Become a member of the film fam. Me and Willie got room in the pad, man. We got a lot of space in the crib, so please come on and check your boys out. Join in with us, man. Um, Also, we need y'all to ring the notification bell. Ring the notification bell because how else are you gonna know when me and Willie Jack got something cooking? We got something coming up, and we got something coming for y'all. So please ring the notification bell, and I guarantee you, me and Willie Jack, we will not let you down. All right. Now, without further ado, we had a Thursday night game, Willie. We had a Thursday night game, and it was Dallas going to Houston, and Dallas ends up coming away with this W 27-13. Now, first and foremost, on behalf of Let the Film Speak and Chop and Willie, we apologize for not breaking this game down for y'all the way we usually do. You know what I'm saying? We ran a little bit
Oh,
late
yeah.
time, so that we didn't get a chance to go through it. But me and Willie Jack did talk about this game, and we did give some score predictions. And of course, I mean, it's not a surprise. Most people probably would have picked Dallas in this game, as we did. But Willie Jack, did you write my score prediction down, brother? Did you write that down?
And let me see if I think I did. Yeah, I did. I got a 27-13, what you had.
Oh, what was the final score of this game?
Bro, was it 27-13? Stop playing.
Oh, was the final score 27-13?
Now I got to check. Yeah, it was 27-13.
The final score was 27-13 this game. And somehow
Yeah, it
your boy was
was.
in his bag again, as always. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Boy,
it
he was in his bag.
was.
I wish I had it recorded because y'all had heard me being in my bag. But hey, you know what I'm saying? That's just the way it falls sometimes, man. No balls, no glory in the building, man. What's going on? Early and often. Appreciate you, man. Part of the
What's
film
going
fam.
on?
Appreciate y'all for joining in, man. But Willie, let's go ahead and jump into this game, man. Dallas wins this one 27-13. What's your thoughts on this one, man?
Man, bad Dak, man. And so, I mean, definitely enough for them to get the job done, 27-13. But like I said, Dak's 29 for 41 for 282, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But no, super turnover worthy, man. And so, of course, with all the news of Derek Carr, in essence, did you lose me, Chop?
Oh, no, I'm still here. I'm here.
Okay, my camera went out for a second. Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, and so, but no, turnover prone Dak. And so with the news coming out for Derek Carr, right? Derek Carr being relieved of his services for the rest of this season. So then there's been like memes and posts and comparables coming out. And essentially, Derek Carr leads the league in interceptions with 14. Well, he's tied with the league in interceptions with 14 with Dak Prescott. Now the difference is Dak Prescott's missed 5 games this year. And so Dak's only played 11 games and is tied with Derek Carr, who's played a full slate with 14 interceptions. And so, not to say that every single one is going to be on Dak. I could think of a couple specifically that happened in a game earlier this season where, I thought it was a lazy route by CD Lamb, like drifting on one instead of crashing flat across.
And there's been a couple drop passes last few. Like last week was a drop pass, and I think the week before there was another drop pass off for interception too. So
no, yeah, see, exactly right. And so, but yeah, just turnover worthy plays for sure. And then credit to Tennessee as well, but really held the run game in check. So Tony Pollard's out. Zeke gets 19 carries, 37 yards on 19 carries. So held tough that way. But other than that, man, CeeDee Lamb and Dak still cooking. So 11 for 100, Didn't get in the end zone, but Dalton Schultz had a big day. He had 756 and caught both of Dak's touchdowns. But the one thing I did want to say in this one, Josh Dobbs gets the start, and so we drafted him. Pittsburgh, we drafted him out of Tennessee. I want to say probably like 6-7 years ago now, and so he was a guy that they brought in just this. He been in the building for a little over a week and got this start with Tannehill being out and just Malik Willis just not be ready to be on a professional football field competing yet. And so I thought Dobbs was impressive. And there was a lot of drop passes by the Tennessee receivers from Dobbs, Robert Woods and Burks both just flat out drop passes. And so, and actually, let me see what his night was, the final stats. He finished 20 for 39 for 232, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I can tell you I feel good that they dropped about 4 passes. I feel good there was about 3-4 passes dropped that night for sure. 2 for sure. 2 completely, no question about it, drops for sure. But I think honestly, 2 more that probably could be considered drops as well. Those two more drops, that's probably good for another like 60 yards, I would think as well. So I mean, it could have been a very impressive day from Dobbs. And so congratulations to him. Like I said, man, still sticking it out, man, thugging it out in the league this long, this far, to be a guy that bounces between third string and practice squad, bounces between there to get another start, man, this late in the game. And so congratulations to him. But yeah, definitely not enough on the Titan side at all. Who like I said, they showed up with only half the team dressed anyway. So yeah.
And that's what I was gonna get into with the jacket was the fact that, you know, like I said, no, I don't think too many people, you know, would have expected Tennessee to win unless I don't know. I don't know what had to be going on for anybody to expect Tennessee to come out and come away with the W in this game, you know, because of how banged up they were, because of, you know, not only that, the game didn't really mean much because win or lose, their playoff picture still is dependent on next week's game, you know, against Jacksonville. Winner of that game gets in, you know, so it doesn't matter what would have happened this past night. So yeah, why not just take it easy, you know, relax, and we'll see what happens next week. And then the last part of that too is Dallas is considered a more superior team, especially with the way that Tennessee has been playing, even before everybody was banged up. You know, so we really expect them to do that. But the 2 things that stood out to me the most, I know you touched on like the stats and everything like that, was that Dallas has to get away from being turnover prone. You know, like you said, they have to get away from that. If they want to move or make a run, a serious run in the playoffs, they have to eliminate the turnovers, eliminate the mistakes, eliminate the fumbles, the interceptions, and all those different things. If they can eliminate those, then they have a good shot. Secondly, it's apparent to me that where the strengths of this Dallas team and who they need to rely on in order for them to be successful. And to me, it's that the run game. CeeDee Lamb is for sure. CeeDee Lamb over the last few weeks, man, has been coming along and he has proven like big games, he's going to show up. You know, so he's going to be there for this team and he's going to do what he needs to do to help this team get victory. So they need to rely on that. And then, of course, the pass rush. Now, Dobbs did come out and he played some surprisingly good ball, especially, I guess you can say, being the third string a QB on this particular team, and looked a lot better than Malik did, as you brought up. Still, Trayvon Diggs, he dropped one too. He dropped one, and it was going to be a house call. It would have been a house call, you know. So they're definitely going to rely on them getting the ball back, because that's one thing Dallas does. I've seen them give up some yards, but they get the ball back. They turn the ball over just like they give the ball away on offense, you know. So they need to eliminate turnovers on offense, continue to take the ball away, get pressure on the quarterback. And give it to their boys, man. TP, you know, Zeke in the red zone, or Zeke in short yardage situations, and CeeDee Lamb, man. Those are your guys that they need to rely on. Put the ball in the hands of those guys, you know, as they move. Now TP didn't play, but they're gonna be just fine, man. They will be just fine. So, you know, that's kind of how we go from there. But yeah, man. That's pretty much it for that game. Dallas come away with the W. We had a couple comments in there. Did you want to touch on any of those, or you want to keep on pushing, Willie Jackson?
Yeah, man, no balls, no glory in the building, man. He was asking about his fantasy, man. He said he's trying to decide between Juju and Mike Evans today, which way to go. Man, I told him, man, I can't trust anything at all coming from Tampa Bay. I can't trust anything at all, and especially playing. I think they got Carolina today, and so, man, I'm not going to trust in that game at all. Carolina could win that game 19 or 16-9, and there'd be 3 for 43 for Mike Evans in this game. You know what I mean? So I go.
So I tell you,
yeah.
I'm gonna
But
say
I went ahead and took Kansas City. I say I go ahead and take Juju over Mike Evans in this play. It's just as hard or just as hard or harder of a matchup going against Denver. But one of them's got Patty Cakes pulling the trigger, and like I said, Patty Cakes is going to do what Patty Cakes got to do, regardless. And so I don't know if it's going to be a Juju and Kelsey day, or if it's going to be a Kelsey and MVS day, or if it's going to be a Kelsey and Jared McKinney day. But it's going to be a Kelsey and somebody day, and it might be Juju today. And so I'll tell you, I still take a chance on that before I put any type of faith in Tom Brady now. What they got going on down there.
I got you, and I'm gonna plead my case, man. I'm gonna go. I would have told him to go Mike Evans today. I know Mike Evans been struggling. I know it's hard to trust this offense. But one of the key things in this offense is, keeping pressure off Tom Brady, man. And I think they get their Pro Bowl center back this week, and they get Tristan Wirfs. I think both of them are going to be back in the game, and I think that's going to make a bigger difference for this Tampa Bay offense and what they're able to do and the success of Tom Brady, because a lot of that has been predicated on the offensive line. So it's a tough call either way, man. It's a tough call either way, but that's the reason why I would lean towards Mike Evans. So BP, man, no balls, no glory, man. You take a little bit of what Willie Jack said, take a little bit of what I said, and you make your decision off that, man.
Hey, he also pointed out J.C. Horn ain't playing today, which is true. It's a good point as well. Yeah. That he's not playing today, but I'm not gonna lie, man. It's been looking flat out. Just
it's still rough. Yeah,
it's been looking just inept. Like I don't know what's going on at Tampa Bay outside of, I guess, Chris Godwin being able to still still get the busy work, and so you know what I mean. So he's still getting way more touches, but him and Mike Evans up the field, man, haven't been connected, and out, man, it feels like weeks.
For sure. All right, Willie Jack, man. Well, let's go ahead and jump into some of these games that's happening today, man. We got the first game on the slate, man. The 12 o'clock game. We got Arizona going to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Willie Jack, who you got?
I'm gonna take Atlanta at home, and so this is another garbage bowl, man. And so toilet bowl in full effect, man. I think
the crazy part is D-Hop is out today,
and D-Hop's out for sure. And then honestly, I'm not even sure who's starting the quarterback for the Cardinals for this one, but either way, I am going with Atlanta on the road, even with Devin Ritter. Like I said, Tyler Algier in that run game, that's still the way they want to go anyway. And like I said, man, there's just Arizona, one of those teams that, man, they taking their hands off the wheel. You know what I'm saying? They letting go and letting guide right now. So Arizona ain't worried about nothing. And so I think
the quarterback today is going to be David Blau.
Oh yeah, there we go, David Blau, the guy that was the backup in the Detroit Lions on the show for a little bit, then bounced around a little bit. So he's getting his start today. Shout out to that guy as well, man. Still kicking around and still finding a way to get another NFL start. So shout out to you, bro. But yeah, I'll take Atlanta at the crib on the strength of David Ritter and Tyler Algier and the team getting it done today, controlling the game on the ground. Oh, and then you need to score, Chop. Let me give you a score, man. Let me give you 20 to 13.
20 to 13.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm going to go Atlanta in this game too, Willie Jack. I'm going 24-20 in this game. I think that Arizona will be able to do a little something to kind of make this game a little interesting. But like you said, toilet bowl. But I think Desmond Ridder gets his first W this week. This is going to be his first W of the season. This is the week to do it. Again, against a struggling Arizona team that's also now battling injuries. I think I think they come away with the W in this particular one. One, because I think the run game is still going to be solid. I think they're still going to be able to run the ball pretty well with Algier and those guys and their running back room. And I think they'll be able to get the job done. And I just don't see how Arizona, on their end of things, are able to put together something consistently. Especially with their main target and DeAndre Hopkins out. So I don't see them being able to put together something consistently. Now, Connor has been still playing some solid ball. So maybe he can help carry them, and I see him maybe getting in the end zone one or two times, but I don't think it'll be enough for Arizona to get over this Atlanta hump. And Desmond Ridder comes away with this first W in this particular game. So give me 24-20 in this one. Atlanta gets that W, man. They get that W.
Gotcha.
On to the next one, Willie Jack. We got Chicago at Detroit, a divisional matchup. This is going to be a tough one, Willie Jack. And this was the one I was kind of skeptical about. I was going back and forth trying to figure out, what's going to happen. And the main thing for me is which Detroit team is going to show up. Which Detroit team is going to show up. We had a good Detroit for about 4-5 games in a row. they ran off a plethora of games. And then last week it was like they went to bed, man. It's like they went to bed. They didn't do the things that we saw them do in that however many game winning stretch that they had. And Carolina completely ran the ball down their throat. So I'm wondering, like, which Detroit team are we going to get today? Because another good team that's really good at running the ball is the Chicago Bears. And Justin Fields, with him and his athletic ability, the things that he can do in and outside of the pocket. So I think that's going to present some problems for Detroit. Now, Detroit is also in a position where, hey, man, this is a must win. We have to win this game because if we want to have a shot at the playoffs, this is our shot, and it's between them, it's between Green Bay and a few other teams. It's about 4 or 5 teams in the last wild card spot in the NFC. So if they want it, they got to win this one. They at home, so I'm rolling with them, man. I'm going to say last week for Detroit is a one-off, and I say they get it back together. They get things going in this divisional matchup, and they come away with a W in this one, man. And they put up some points in this one. So I'm going to go 34-31, Detroit over Chicago. Chicago's going to make some noise. They're going to make some plays. They're going to put themselves in position to score some points and like I said, make some noise, make this game interesting. But I think that the Detroit Lions are able to take care of business in this one. So give me 34-31, high-scoring game, Detroit over Chicago.
Oh,
I know, dog. I know this was one of the ones for me, dog.
Yeah, no, I'm going Detroit in this one as well, but not just like you said. Like I think this is a game where Chicago, who last week just completely got their running game shut down as well. So I think they're able to get back, get their mojo going a little bit back on this one as well. So Justin Fields completely shut out for what it felt like was the first time we've seen last season, or at least the first time since they had made that change in the offense, and then we will see that offense kind of really start to produce or take off. And so since the first time since then was the first time it looks like we've seen Justin Fields get shut down. And then also for the first time in a couple of weeks, Detroit just got out physical than Carolina. Carolina just went out there literally just hit them boys right in the mouth and really just dominated that game with a physical run game. And just Detroit just too little, too late, just couldn't really get anything going or get anything established in that game till, like I said, it was almost closing time. But so I do think Detroit. I'm taking Detroit at home to get back on the road. Man, I'm going right back there to it, man. Detroit's still good for 30 in my book. And like I said, Detroit's still good for 30.
Definitely against the Chicago defense for sure.
And against a Chicago defense, which should play ball. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to score points, you should be able to score points in this game for sure. And I think they can get back on track. The run game in Carolina is a different style of run game than the one that the threat that's going to be posed in Chicago. Yeah, sure. Carolina is old school. We want to line up in power football. We want to pull a guard and lead with a fullback and have a running back coming right back under. You know what I mean? So like they want to like really pound you that way. Whereas Chicago wants misdirection, wants our quarterback to hit you for 70 yards. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a different style of just even run threat that they had to deal with. But I think Detroit gets back in their groove as far as scoring their points. I got them held on the road, man, 30-24. I expect Justin Fields to bounce back in this game as well. So give him all 3 of today's touchdowns, but they still come up short. 30-24.
Gotcha. All right, Willie Jack, let's keep on moving. We got another divisional matchup. We got Denver traveling to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. And if we remember, the last time Denver faced Kansas City, I think it was the first time all year that they scored over 20 points, Willie Jack. It might have been the first time, man. They came out in this game, which what I thought was going to be a lower scoring game, turned into a shootout where they had to win in overtime, if I'm not mistaken. You know what, kids?
It was a game that was a lot more points scored than
it was a lot more. You know what? It didn't go to overtime, but it was a lot more points scored the first time around.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna try to check. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is where we at with this particular game. Willie, talk to me about this one, man. Who you got in this one?
I'm taking Kansas City, man. So I'm definitely taking Kansas City at home. This is just a time of year. Kansas City is one of those teams with one of those programs, with one of those quarterbacks, with one of those coaches. Just as a record label and staff, Kansas City knows how to win. You know what I'm saying? So this is championship. This is championship time of football. So this is when like the winners start rounding up in the form, tightening up ship, and make sure they go into this thing full-fledged, ready to go and firing on cylinders. And so I expect Kansas City to really start getting into gear, like I said, as we close out and head into the playoffs. I don't think they have a problem with this matchup, man. I really don't. I know I'm sitting there talking like I don't know what Denver's defense is capable of, and just like I said, divisional matchup and all these things that should make this thing, I guess, a closer game. But no, I don't honestly see Denver posing much of a threat unless that defense comes out absolutely on fire and it's just stifling. And the first three Mahomes possessions wind up as 13 points instead of 21 points. I mean, like, you know what I mean? So it had to be a phenomenal day by them. But I'm taking Kansas City at the crib to get it done. What may start out as a stingy game early, I think finishes as a comfortable win late. And so I'll take Kansas City. I'll go 27-20. 27-20 Kansas City. Like I said, maybe it starts a little stingy in the early going until Kansas City settles in that thing and gets and just settles in at home. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of shakes that off and then just starts to get in there and do what they got to do. Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't even feel good. That 20, that's 20 is a tall order for Denver, man. 20 is a tall order. Yeah, I'll go 27-20. I was gonna drop to 17. I'll go 27-20 Kansas City at home.
Got you. And I'm gonna go 27 as well, but I'm gonna go 27-14. 27-14 in the final, my final score of this game. I think that, as you said, Willie Jack, it's just Kansas City right now. Well, the first time around, I think that was I hate to say games are a fluke because I really don't believe, honestly, that games are a fluke. But at the same time, I just don't think it's going to be the same game. It's going to be two different types of games. You know, you see these teams play 2 times in a row, and if that was a high scoring game, this one's not going to be. It's not going to be that close. Denver's not going to put up that many points and be that explosive on offense, and Kansas City Chiefs is not going to make it. They can let it be that close. So, because of how far in separation these teams are, in my opinion. But the things can get interesting. You know, I see Isaiah here. He already talking about upset alert.
He said it's an upset or a blowout. He said one or the other.
Yeah, so this is the first game for interim head coach Jerry Rossberg. You know, so I'm interested to see what's going to be the difference in this Denver team under Jerry Rossberg. What's it going to look like this week? Is it going to be any? I don't imagine there's going to be any major changes in terms of how they look actually on the field, but I just want to see how he runs the team and what he does. What does he bring to the team that can maybe help or hurt or keep them the same? But the Broncos teams I've been seeing all year, as long as they still got Russell Wilson back there at quarterback, man, they're going to struggle. You know, he's been struggling all year, and he definitely struggled last week. So I expect him to continue to do that today. Chiefs defense is coming along. They're playing all right, playing some solid ball, and Chris Jones is
balling. Yeah,
he's still balling and one of the best D tackles in the league this year. So yeah, give me the Chiefs, man. 27-14 final score of this game. I think they spread it out a little bit and they win this one comfortably. It won't be as close or a high scoring game this time. This game is gonna have a different feel than it did the first time around.
Yeah, no, I don't see anything wrong with that at all.
For sure. On to the next one, Willie Jack. And we got another divisional matchup. We got Miami going to New England to take on the Patriots, man. And I'm going Miami in this one. I'm going Miami. Going Miami. Give Miami 24 points, Willie Jack. Give Miami 24 points. You don't know why?
Why is that?
Because Teddy 2-4 is starting. Teddy 2-4 is starting, man. When that boy start, he don't score more than 26 or less than 24.
24 points, man.
Teddy 2-4, man. Teddy 2-4. And the reason I'm going, I'm gonna tell you like this. The reason I'm going to the Dolphins in this game, because I kept going back and forth. Once I found out Tua was out, I was like, oh man, this screams Bill Belichick at home in the Patriots. But I just can't skip over what the Patriots have been good at, what Miami's been good at, and what each team has been struggling with. And the Patriots right now, they play right into the Dolphins' hand. The one thing that the Patriots, they like to do is run the ball. But the crazy part is they're not even a top 10, a top 12 team in running the ball. They like running it, but they okay. They're mediocre when it comes to running the ball. But Miami has one of the better run defenses in the league. You know what I'm saying? So you telling me that you got to go in this game relying on Mac Jones, to come out and win this game against a Miami team who, like I said, on defense, I think they match up well with the Patriots, but in on offense, they got the type of offense that is very similar when I watch them to the San Francisco 49ers. The difference is the Miami Dolphins, they just got burners. You know what I'm saying? So, them boys catch the ball across the middle, middle of the field. Them boys taking it to the crib, but they are very similar in the way that they operate and the way their offenses are ran. It's very simple. I think it's an offense that Teddy Bridgewater is very capable of running. I think the last start he had this year, he threw for over 300 yards. So I expect him to come out and do some similar things today. Maybe not 300 yards, but he can come operate this offense in a way where the rest of the team will do enough. Teddy Bridgewater, just come in here. You ain't got to do too much. Just play the game, and everything is gonna come to you. And I think that they're gonna come away with a W in this game because, like I said, they match up well, in all other facets. So give me Miami in this game to try to stay in that playoff race and pretty much knock the Patriots out of that playoff race. And they win this game 24-17. Miami over the Patriots.
No, well, I'm taking New England at the crib. Definitely, like I said, the fact that Teddy Bridgewater started in this game, honestly, Tua hadn't been playing great, honestly, and so with the way that Tua's been playing, I'm not going to sit there and say, I mean, outside of overall name recognition and whatnot, I don't necessarily know if Teddy can be any worse than what we've been getting out of Tua here lately.
The last couple of weeks for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And so for that matter, I mean, that's not really gonna sway me in this game. But no, I think it's more about everything else you said, man. It's still Big Bad Bill. It's still in New England. It's still a divisional matchup, and it's still a game in which Bill and his Patriots, they still need this win as well to keep their own dwindling hopes alive as well. And so now you're gonna do it without your starting quarterback coming in, regardless, like I said, of the situation we said with Tua, with Teddy Two Glove and Tua, but. No, man, and honestly, I like New England in this one to get it done, and so especially today with Teddy Two Glove coming in, and so arm strength wise, I guess him and Tua are probably comparable, but Tua has been going up the field, so that is one thing we can say. He has been airing it out, letting those speed guys on the outside really open up and get going, and so I think I would just anticipate just with Teddy Bridgewater being in, I don't see that part of the game being a threat today. And so that's been, that's always been one of the knocks on a guy like Teddy Bridgewater is that he's just not going to be a guy that's going to test you on all three levels of the field, or at least not consistently to where it's a threat you have to respect, so to say, if anything. And I'm sure Mike McDaniels is this guy smart enough to know that, okay, he needs to play into that or play against that, and then that way, of course, capitalize. But outside of something like that, man, it's just not a part of what we've seen for Teddy Bridgewater's, just his standard repertoire that he's comfortable doing. And so it should be a much more measured or controlled game in the passing attack. And we already know the running game for this Miami Dolphins team is second or third nature anyway. And so it's oftentimes an afterthought. And so I think New England, like I said, for those reasons, can come out here and really, especially if they can get their own run game going, like I said, if they can get that going, you can get a big day out of Ramondre Stevenson in the rest of that group. And you can definitely get one done here. I'm going to take New England at home, and I'm going to go kind of a little bit of an eyeball score, but I'm going to go 26-19. I think this is one of those ugly games where everybody takes an extra 3 that should have been a 7. You know what I mean? Like, it's like just one of those ugly games where there's ugly field goals, and then, like I said, before you know it, it's one of those games where somebody has 7 red zone opportunities and only scored and got like 6 field goals out of it. Or, you know what I'm saying? Just something like that. Just an eyeball kind of day scoring. But I'm going 26-19 New England at home. So, yeah, what is it? That's 2 touchdowns and 4 field goals. Yeah, exactly.
You sound like you about to say 4 interceptions. I mean,
that
would have sounded, right?
Nah, Teddy ain't got 4 in him. Yeah, Teddy won't let himself throw the ball before he gets the 4. Yeah.
I got you. All right. Next game, Willie Jack. We got to go to New York, man, because Indianapolis is going to New York to take on the Giants. And yeah, man, we need these two. We need these. We need this week and we need next week because I need to get to that 10 win. But Willie Jack, Willie Jack, who you got, brother? In this one, Indianapolis.
And you know what? I left this one blank because this is the one that's winnable. When we first talked about this whole shebang, they all followed out following season or the remaining season. We saw about these Giants. Like this is the one for me that they always had the best chance. This Indianapolis game for sure. It is at home. No telling at all what you're going to get from Indianapolis. Who's starting today? Is it Nick Foles still? Did they go back to somebody? Who's even starting today for the Colts? I don't even know.
The starter is going to be Nick Foles, brother.
It is really Nick Foles running it back. And, man, Nick, bless poor little Nick's heart, man. He went out there and gave it his best shot trying to air it out. Try to air it out last week and didn't do nothing but throw 40-yard interceptions all night. But at least he did go. At least he did go up the field. All right, so if y'all win this one, this gets y'all 10 wins.
No, they gets us 9.
Oh, okay.
9.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I mean, you got
some wiggle room. You got some wiggle room
for one.
I don't. I ain't got no wiggle room.
Yeah, because I don't know what who's their next game. Who's the last game?
Philly is gonna be the one. Philadelphia.
Oh, so this the one.
Yeah, we gotta win this one, but we gotta win this one to get to 9. And next the week after that.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say I hope Philly win today. So
they don't need to play next week.
So they rest their starters.
They could rest their starters, or they could make it a point to knock a division rival out. They could.
I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. If it come to down to week 18 and Philadelphia rest their starters, we'll cut your push-ups in half, bro. Cause that's whack. I don't want to win like that. I don't want to win against backups. I want to win against them dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We can go out.
You think your Giants
I'm not gonna argue with you long. If you
you think your Giants could beat Gardner Minshew and the Eagles? I'm not convinced your Giants beat Gardner Minshew's Eagles.
Bro, no, it's not just Gardner Minshew. It's Gardner Minshew. Then you got Boston Scott. Then they probably gonna sit out some of they top offensive linemen. You know what I'm saying? They not gonna play James Bradbury and all that. Like it's gonna be more than it if they sitting. You know what I'm saying? If they sit in their starters, if they lock up that number 1 seed. Just saying.
I'm gonna go 24-16. 24-16, the New York Giants. The New York Football Giants. 24-16 to get the 9 wins and fall just short of 10 wins for Chop. Because then next week they lose to Gardner Minshew's Eagles.
I got you, man. I'm going Giants in this game too, Willie Jack. I'm going Giants. Indianapolis Colts, they just look lost, man. They look lost this last week. Now, the thing that scares me is because it's always games like this where you see Nick Foles, you're like, oh man, Nick Foles ain't do nothing. He ain't do nothing. And he comes out and he's on fire. He starts his drive of the game. He goes 8 for 9, 60 yards and a touchdown. You know what I mean? So
exactly, yeah.
So
that show up like that.
He shows up like that. He starts off hot, and that's just the way he shows up, man. So that's crazy that that stuff like that happens in the NFL. So that's the one thing that kind of scares me in this game. But I think the Giants gonna be able to take care of business in this one, man. They've been playing some solid ball, and then I'm gonna go say they're playing, especially with the way they took Minnesota to the wire last week. So they still competing. They following their recipe. It's just that the second half of the season they come on the losing side of those games versus coming on the winning side of those earlier in the season. So now they starting to get hit with a little bit of their own medicine, in these games. But I think this one is a very winnable game. I hope they don't play it close. I want to see the New York Giants come out here and actually put their foot on somebody's neck. A team that,
if not now, then win.
Yeah, if not now, then win. Come put your foot on somebody's neck. Stop playing everybody close. Don't play down the competition and up the competition. Stay where y'all at, man. If y'all a good team, be a good team. If y'all a bad team, be a bad team. Well, I mean, that sounds terrible to say, but like I'm saying, show some consistency in who y'all are as a team, man. Go out there and put your foot on somebody's neck. Put your foot on somebody's neck and win this game convincingly. So I'm gonna call it convincingly too. So I'm gonna go 20. I'm gonna go 24-13 in this game. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of a comfort in this one. I don't see them scoring a lot of points either, but come out and win this game, man, comfortably, and where you running some clock towards the end of the game. You closing it out in that way. So yeah, give me Giants in this game. They should be able to take care of business against this falling apart Indianapolis team under Jeff Saturday. So yeah, let's go ahead and take care of business in that way.
For sure.
For sure.
All right.
On to the next one. On to the next one, and I'm gonna tackle this one first, Willie Jack. I'll jump into this one. So the next game we got, speaking of Philadelphia, we got New Orleans. New Orleans going to Philly to take on the Eagles, and this is a tough one for me too, because you got a hungry New Orleans team coming to Philly to visit you. You know, this is not a regular New Orleans team, and this is also a New Orleans team that they can put up some points if they can put everything together. I've seen them be dominant in certain situations throughout this season, you know, offensively. Their defense is still solid. So their defense is still capable of keeping them in games and things like that. And if you ask me, I would prefer to see New Orleans in the playoffs over Tampa Bay, just the way Tampa Bay is playing right now. That's just my opinion. But they're still a hungry team going to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Now, the Eagles, I think they're still going into this game with Gardner Minshew. So Gardner Minshew is going to have to, you know, continue to play well, and which I think he will. And I think I talked to y'all a little bit last week about this in terms of Gardner Minshew, and I said that, you know, watching him play is going to show y'all what I wasn't too crazy when I was saying that. I just didn't think Jalen Hurts is going to do what has been doing this year. You know what I'm saying? And hey, I think I kind of proved my point. I think I'm all right. I don't think I stepped all the way on the sword. I think I kind of tripped and bumped it a little bit, but I ain't fall all the way on the sword. But Gardner Minshew, to as I was saying, looked pretty solid. He looked pretty good to me, you know, and which like I said, is the reason why I thought that, you know, he could end up taking over this team if Jalen Hurts didn't pan out. But Jalen Hurts is playing some really good ball. But said all that to say, I'm still gonna go with Philadelphia in this game because I think they just are too much for this New Orleans team. But New Orleans is dangerous in this game, man. They're dangerous because they're like that alley. You got your back against the wall in the alley. That's them. That's New Orleans right now. We ain't got no choice but to fight, and they're gonna come out swinging. They're gonna come out pulling out everything. Philadelphia gonna have to put it together, man. They're gonna have a hard fought game. This game, its name is not gonna be easy by any stretch of the imagination, and I think it's gonna be a close one. So give me 27-24 Philly over New Orleans in this one. It's gonna be a tough one, but New Orleans is Willie. You know what? I'm going New Orleans. Scary money don't make no money. That's what you told me. You give me New Orleans in this game. 27-24 New Orleans. New Orleans beats Philly on the road because they just hungry, man. They need that playoff spot. They trying to get there to Tampa Bay, and they have to go through one of the toughest teams to do it. Give me New Orleans in this game. I don't care. They hungry, dog. Sometimes a dog got to eat, and a starving dog will do anything. You know what I'm saying? The starving dog would do anything. So give me New Orleans in this one, man.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. I didn't see the New Orleans coming, the switch coming, especially I was listening to you talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a tall order, man. Like you said,
it's a tall order. It's a tall order. But hey, man, hey.
I'm about to say, man, because Philly still got something to fight for. They still got to submit that number one seed for sure. They got the Vikings right there on their heels. Also, it's in Philly. It's on the road in Philly, man. That's going to be that's a tough place to go on the road for a team that's struggling themselves anyway.
You know what?
To find it and pull it off, man.
You know what? What am I doing, Willie? What am I doing? We just been talking this whole time for the last few weeks. We've been talking about Alvin Kamara. What am I doing? What I'm sitting up here playing around, messing around, talking about performer of the week, Alvin Kamara, man. Alvin Kamara, he comes up big in probably the biggest game of the year for New Orleans Saints.
It has to be.
Take care of business, and they win this game. 150 yards, the total offense for Alvin Kamara today, 2 touchdowns. He's getting that. New Orleans come away with the W in this, man. I don't know what I was doing, Willie. I'm sitting up here. I'm just messing around, talking to. What am I doing? What am I doing?
Hey, man. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Pull this one off, man. They're gonna need exactly that. Pull this one off. They're gonna need exactly that. I've got Philly handling business at the home, man. I got Philly wrapping this thing on up, submitting that number one seed, man. Letting Jalen Hurts ride comfortably into the playoffs. They get it done at home. I do think this is a game that is tougher. A tougher fought game. New Orleans and that defense is still going to show up. That defense is still going to play you tough and play you hard, I think, and make this competitive or make this, make this one that they don't just walk in and just coast all the way home. But I've got Philly hanging on and winning this one, even with Gardner Minshew, 27-21. A nice hard-fought test that ends in victory at the crib as you get ready. Like I said, everybody's kind of sharpening their swords and getting ready for for the real dance to start. And so this is just another one of those matchups, one that you kind of need to, like I said, just keep you sharp, keep your edge. Like I said, you'll have to go out there, fight for it, and earn it, but you should get a victory. And like I said, as you as they continue on, man, before they main goal, yeah, give me Philly, man, 27-21.
And shout out to the fam, man. I got the fam in the building, man. What's going on,
Hey.
family? What's going on, nephew in the building? What's going on with you, dog? He said
we
need it, and he said, look, and he say we need an in studio version of LTFS.
Hey, man. Come on, man. Hey.
Buddy Jack, I ain't gonna spoil it right now, man. But hey,
man, we got some things in motion, man.
We got some things working, man. We got some things working, man. But fam in the building, man. What's going on, family? Yeah, but yeah, let's go ahead and go to the next game, Willie Jack. Let's go. Speaking of that division, we got Carolina, divisional matchup. Carolina going to Tampa Bay to take on the Bucks, and this is a big game for the Bucks too. Big games for the Bucks because they can go a long way and wrapping up the division this week. They're still a game ahead above New Orleans and Carolina. If they beat Carolina, Carolina is out of it. So they can eliminate Carolina from their situation.
Mm-hmm.
But New Orleans is still there. And I just told y'all what New Orleans is about to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's a win right there. So Tampa Bay has to come away with this W. They have to. They have no choice. And I'm gonna go Tampa Bay in this game, Willie Jack. I think that what's going to be big for this Tampa Bay team is the fact that you're gonna have Ryan Jensen and Tristan Wirfs coming back in this one, man. I think that's huge in terms of protection for Tom Brady. He needs that. Those are some very important pieces, coming back for him. So yeah, they're definitely gonna need that. And if they have those guys going and ready to go in this particular game, I think they'll be able to take care of business. And even though they've been struggling, I think they can hold off Carolina. The key for Carolina too, I think it's going to be bigger than what people think, is the fact that one, having those guys back is going to slow down Brian Burns in that pass rush, but then also you're going to be without J.C. Horn, your best corner. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to be a matchup that veteran QBs with a lot of savvy like Tom Brady can exploit those matchups. That's one thing that he still can do. He still has his brain now. Now his arm and everything else, he hasn't been playing the best, but those matchups. And if you get a big body guy like 6'5" Mike Evans 1-on-1 with your backup or third string corner, then that can go well for Tampa Bay, man. But give me Tampa Bay in this game. I think they can put up 24 points, 24-21. 24-21, my final score of this game. Carolina, they put up a couple points, but overall, they won't be able to handle Tampa Bay in this game. And, Tampa Bay comes over with the W.
And that's funny. I've got the same score, 24-21, but I've got Carolina. So okay. I've got Carolina on the road, 24-21. And kind of just like I was telling our dog DP, man, no boss, no glory. Shout out to the boys in the building, man. I don't trust Tampa Bay, man. I don't trust Tampa Bay at all. I don't trust anything coming in or out of Tampa Bay, like I said, man. So now they do get some help along that offensive line, which is definitely crucial. And like I said, especially in a game like today where you're going against one of the up and coming young pass rush guys in the game, and Brian Burns. So you do need their help against the offensive line. But the thing for me is Tampa Bay is one-sided, and the one side that they got isn't any good either. So they're a pass-only offense that has a poor pass offense. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't run the ball, and then when you have to pass the ball, it's ugly ball anyway. And so even without J.C. Horn, I still think Carolina – one thing that we always can say, there's two things travel in this league, right? Run games and defense. Run games and defenses travel. You know what I'm saying? And Carolina's got a little bit of both. And so, and Tampa Bay's got a little, well, Tampa Bay hit or miss every now and again. They have a day where their defense shows up as well. But I tell you who ain't showed up in 16 weeks in the season has been a Tampa Bay running game. But Carolina run game, especially coming off a week in which we just seen them impose their will on a very hot Detroit Lions football team and completely take the wind out of their sails with just a nonstop just run game, just pounding you all day until they get out there with a win. And so I say all that to say I trust more in Carolina's steady running game than I do in just Tom Brady's passing game on the name of Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of ugly ball being played there. So I'll take Carolina to get it done on the road, man. 24-21. Definitely looking for a big day from guys like Dante Foreman, Chuba Hubbard, Sam Darnold. Man, you might have to get out there for a 50 piece and do a little help and contribute as well to that. But definitely think they can get it done, especially with this version of Tampa Bay that we've seen for the better part of all year. And so, I think Carolina gets it done. I think Tom Brady and those boys end up falling. Well, I already kind of said I wanted Carolina to steal this division as well, so I definitely need them to win this one. And so, they win here. New Orleans and Tampa Bay both lose on my book today, so I think that's I don't know where that puts them as far as the standings for the division, but I say that to say I'm pulling for Carolina.
If you say if Carolina wins and New Orleans loses,
Tampa Bay and so that would mean Tampa Bay loses.
So Carolina and Tampa Bay. Well, Carolina they will put Carolina in the divisional in control of the division at that point.
Yeah.
But they will still have the same record as Tampa Bay, and then they will put New Orleans 2 games back, so New Orleans will be out. So it really would come down to that last week. If Carolina can win it last week, they would solidify it. Or if they win, or if they lose, Tampa Bay would have to lose in order for them to still keep that spot. So they would be in control if they win this game and New Orleans lose this particular week.
Gotcha. There we go. That's what I got. There we go. Let's go, Carolina.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here for you, brother. That's why I'm here for you. All right, Willie, I think it's about that time, man. We halfway through. I think it's about time for you to talk to them and let them know what's going on. And man, talk to them, let them know what's up. Man, pay these bills, man. Pay these bills.
Today's episode of Chop Willie in the Morning, brought to you by the handsome, intelligent brothers that let the film speak, is brought to you in the new year, 2023. The first one, fresh out the box. Fresh out the 2023 box,
first
man.
One, man. This the first one,
man. The first one. The first one today is brought to you by the OG, man. That's the 3 amigos. That's like, share, and subscribe. That's a 3-piece spice. That's a 3 the hard way. You cannot go wrong without it, man. That's 3 amigos, man. That's like, share, subscribe. So y'all know what's going on, man. It's 3 amigos, but it's a 4-part process. Follow along with me at home. You can go through these steps yourself. First, you just got to tap in. You just got to come in and speak and be respectful, man. That's just tap in and shout out the 3 amigos, man. That's like, share, subscribe. That's number 1. That ain't never going nowhere. Then you got to tell a friend. Come on now. Then you got to tell your friend to tell a friend. Then you got to tell your friend's friend to tell a partner to bring one more because we need 4, man. Bring them up top to the penthouse. Come in here and kick it with your dogs, man. Here at Chop Willie in the Morning, man. You know what's going on, man. Drop a little jewel on you every now and again. 10 o'clock on Sunday, can't miss us. Don't forget to circle back around, man, Wednesday for the home base show, man. Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. You know what's going on. We ain't got nowhere else to be but right in here. Kicking it real good like we do, man, here at Let the Field Speak. And now, appreciate all the love and support as always, man. And now back to this 2023 Chop Willie in the Morning. Let's get it started, Chop. Let's get it started, man. The first football of the 2023 year, man. Let's go.
Got you, man. Hey, we got the Browns, man. We got Cleveland going to Washington to take on the Commanders, and I'm glad this game falls the way that it falls because I want to turn it on you, Willie Jack. Talk to me. Who you got?
And yeah, man. And you know what? I left this one blank too.
Oh man, so we both gonna be talking this one through.
Yeah, but I got you though. I'm gonna go ahead.
We'll do it like this, Willie Jack. Give me some keys to the game, and I'll riff with you for a minute, and then hopefully one of us will figure it out. We'll get this game figured out.
And you know what I'll do? Because Carson Wentz is making his first start, his return to the starting lineup in this game, and so he came in last week in some spot duty, and actually looked pretty good. Got a touchdown, moved the ball, no turnovers in the limited duty. So he's gonna get this start to see if he can give a spark to maybe salvage out the end of this football team season. Like I said, because they're still in the mix there. Chop, man, I don't know if you have the standings here, but
right now, Washington holds the 7th wild card spot right now.
Okay, so Washington, I think if they're the team with their destiny in their hands. They win their last 2 games, they in the playoffs. Right. Okay. And you at home against a Cleveland team that's bringing Deshaun Watson and a whole bunch of not much else. That Nick Chubb's bringing Deshaun Watson and a whole bunch of not much else. I just said like that. You know, I'm going to go Washington. I'm going to go Washington at home. Ooh, excuse me. You all right, bro? Maybe I don't want Washington at home.
You sure?
Maybe I don't want Washington at home.
Are you sure you want to go there?
I think I want Washington at home, though. Yeah, I think I do. I think I want Washington at home. like I said, Carson Wentz coming in, making his first start, so he's going to be more than motivated as well to still try to salvage some form of career for himself. So he's a guy whose reputation is taken more than a couple big hits here of late as well. And so, but yeah, like I said, sometimes you just need a change to just give a spark or a jump to the team. And so sometimes that could be anything. And so I'm thinking that maybe Carson is the spark that the Washington football team needs to kind of revitalize and get a little energy going. You've got a Cleveland team coming in. Like I said, they want to get Nick Chubb going. You really want to be strong there because then it makes life easier on Deshaun Watson, who's now, 3 or 4 games back into the resumption of his quarterback career as well. And so all said, man, I still think Washington has enough in his favor going to get this done, especially at the crib as well. I'm going to go 23.
Mm-hmm. This one tough, dog. This one tough. I'm hip. I'm hip, dog.
Yeah, I'll go 23. I'll go 23-20. Washington getting it done at home, keeping their playoff hopes alive.
Gotcha. And Willie Jack, I'm just listening to you talk. Going back on Carson Wentz. This is the game that could very well make or break him, because it's like you've gotten your chance. You had your chance in Philly. You went to Indianapolis. You had a chance there. Then now you're getting a chance in Washington. You know, you get injured. They roll with Taylor Heineke for a while, but now you're back inserted into the lineup in a prime spot. It's like the reason why I so make a break is because you're now entered in the spot. You got 2 games, and it's up to you to hold this team together to make the playoffs. If you can hold this team together, make the playoffs, and possibly, you know, we've seen strange things happen, make some noise. This could be the difference in you, like I said, making your career, or now going into a bridge quarterback / backup role, you know, for future, you know, in the future for different teams. So this is crucial for him to kind of change the narrative. He controls the narrative of how teams are going to look at him from this point going forward in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So the one thing we do know about Carson Wentz, you know, we know he's going to take his shots. You know, he's going to go down swinging. He's not one of those guys that's going to, you know, go out, you know, not shooting his gun. He's going to shoot till it's empty. You know what I mean? That's the type of guy that Carson Wentz is going to do. He's going to push the ball downfield. You know, he's going to try to take those plays. He's going to hold on to the ball a lot longer. You know what I mean? So you're going to see those things from him because he just always wants to make a play. You know, and for Cleveland, they're still trying to find their footing, find that connection with Deshaun Watson and their offense and get things going on their end. So this is crucial for both teams, you know, just looking at it, you know, and from that standpoint. But I'm with you, Willie Jack. I'm going to go with Washington, man. I'm going with Washington just for the simple fact that I like the weapons that they have. I talked about Jahan Dotson last week. I mean, well, not this week, last week, but this week on Let the Film Speak on a home base show, Wednesday nights at 7. Just in case you ain't heard my dog Willie Jack. But
yeah,
that was one thing I talked. Dotson is nice, man. And this Washington team has a lot. And if they can find a connection, and I said this in the beginning of the year too, if they can find that, this team becomes a very, very explosive team and a dangerous team. That's what makes them dangerous. They could beat anybody if they're hot, but they'll lose to anybody because of this, just the undisciplinedness. I don't even know if that's a word, because of the lack of discipline. You know, so that's where this game kind of scares me. The reason it can go either way, but I'm rooting for Carson Wentz in this game. I'm rooting for him. Go ahead, man. Change that narrative. Go ahead and do your thing. Use that explosive offense, man. Hit those guys. Let them guys make the plays for you, Carson Wentz. You know, you ain't got to make all. You ain't got to be a hero. You got some killers. You got Scary Terry on one side, Jahan Dotson on the other. Curtis Samuel, he's sitting underneath, ready to break somebody off. And you got a young stud running back who's eager to run the ball. I mean, let them guys do it for you. It's okay. It's perfectly fine. If I'm a head coach, this is what I'm telling Carson Wentz, and we're gonna be just fine. If you go out there and do that, they will be just fine in this game. So give me Washington in this one, and I'm gonna go 27. Give me 27-23. Final score of this game. Washington comes away with the W.
27-23. I got you.
27-23. 27-23. On to the next one, Willie Jack. We got Jacksonville going to Houston to take on the Texans, and give me Jacksonville in this game. Willie Jack, I'm liking. It's been seems like it's been a long time since we talked about Jacksonville and the Jaguars team. I think it was because they played on Thursday night last week, so it's been a while. It's been a lot of games in between then. It's been a couple holidays since they last played.
Right.
So it's been a while since we talked about this Jaguars team, but Trevor Lawrence continues to come along. The last game we seen him play in, it was very cold, wet, but he found a way to get it done. Found a way to lead his team. And for this Houston team, they playing some spicy ball right now. They playing some feisty ball. They not giving anybody anything easy. This is also a divisional matchup. So I don't think it's going to be with the way that this defense of Houston has been playing. Their defense is not no pushover. They like, hey, man, we might not be as good of a team, but it ain't sweet over here, though. You ain't about to come over here.
Yeah, they're playing ball now, yeah.
Yeah, you ain't about to come over here. I understand we gave up a few, bad games early in the season, but it ain't sweet, bro. And everything ain't nothing given over here. You got to come work, So young rookie is looking like he's going to pan out. And Derek Stingley, he's playing some good ball over there. But the defense overall, man, is playing some really good ball together. So I expect them to be feisty again in this one, but I don't think they have enough. Jacksonville, and that's the thing too. Jacksonville they're not really playing for nothing this week. You know what I'm saying? So their game is next week. Their Super Bowl is next week. This week don't really matter. They're waiting for Tennessee next week when they go see them boys. So that's gonna be the game. So who knows, man? Maybe we get a Jacksonville team that if they come out and they say they want to rest some people or play players on a couple quarters or something. I don't know, man. This is tricky here, but I'm going with what I know. I'm gonna go Jacksonville in this game. I think they just are a better team. I think they're on a hotter streak, and I like what Doug Peterson has this team. So give me Jaguars, and my final score is going to be 30 to 20. 30 to 20 final score of this one.
All right. I'm going to take Jacksonville on the road as well. Now, one thing I would say, even though the season and the playoffs is going to come down to next week, I don't think that they're not a team that can say, well, we're going to rest everybody because our Super Bowl is next week, or you know what I mean, like our real matchup next week, because they're not a team that's got some type of comfortable established dominance. So you know what I mean, no, they're a team that needs to stay hot. They need to keep their machine rolling. They need to continue to build upon their own momentum. You know what I mean? So I think they need to go out and win this game in Houston, just for the fact of, like I said, it's more valuable to them to keep stacking wins, to keep stacking and building on momentum as they carry into that game in that last matchup with Tennessee, than for them to think, man, if they announced that they were sitting some starters in this one in anticipation of next week, then that tells me next week I can't even trust y'all to go in there and get it done against the Tennessee Titans team that's been put up, it feels like, for the last 4 or 5 weeks here now. So I like I said, I definitely think they've got to go out there and go get it, and definitely against a Houston team that, like you said, is just trying to be the ugly, the ugly partner at the dance and just kind of ruin somebody's night. You know what I mean? And so Houston's definitely going to be there. They're going to be game, and like I said, if you go in there with your eye off the ball, they'll tag you as well. Yeah. And it is going to be at home in Houston. And so all those things do, of course, make this game dangerous. But I still also do see Jacksonville holding on to getting it done. I think the score is going to be a little lower, though. Like I said, because the Houston defense, namely that the guy, Jalen Petrie, I believe, the rookie safety from Baylor, that's been everywhere on the field for them defensively, definitely leaves his mark, in any big game they've had this year, it feels like. Him and that bunch, though, like I said, they are playing stingy ball, and like I said, divisional matchup and all that good stuff. Houston is not going to at all run away from the opportunity to maybe, like I said, just stick it to one of their own divisional rivals, even though they don't have anything more to play for themselves. I'll go Jacksonville. I'll go 23-19. I think Houston makes them actually kind of, like I said, I think Houston definitely makes them go out there and actually earn this game and win it. And like I said, I think it stays pretty close until they do so. But yeah, 23-19 Jacksonville, that's where I'm going with this one.
All right. Well, let's keep it pushing. We got the San Francisco Wild Machines going to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. Who you got, Willie Jack?
Man, give me the Machines. Give me the Machines comfortably here. Who's starting at quarterback for the Raiders? Now I can't even think of it.
Jarrett Stidham.
Jarrett Stidham. There we go. Yeah, Jarrett Stidham, the guy that they had drafted over in New England. he was supposed to be the new Jimmy G. Then I guess he's the McDaniels has brought him over to the Raiders. So Jarrett Stidham is going to be starting. Is Devontae Adams active? Did he step away? Did we know what came of that?
I don't know if Devontae Adams is, but I wouldn't say that. Right now, it's Devontae Adams is still listed as ready to go.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, I just didn't know how deep that guy because
the connection is.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Because of course, I guess like there's been some posts about him. Like, man, I came in here to play with Derek, and
I'm glad you mentioned it because it's like how upset right now do you have to be if you Devontae Adams? You know what I'm saying? You go from a situation in Green Bay to go play in Las Vegas with your partner. You have this type of season. You know what I'm saying? Where y'all not gonna make the playoffs or whatever. The connection is not the same. Your production is not the same. No, don't get me wrong. He's still producing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's still
I can tell you. I can see where you're going with that, and I can get through a lot of that right now and tell you.
Go ahead, talk to me.
Look here, man. If anybody's if anybody's confused as to whether or not Devontae Adams went to Las Vegas for anything other than $30 million a year, so anything outside of $30 million a year is playful conversation. He didn't love Derek Carr enough to go over there for $14.5 a year. Nah, he went over there because he went over there. He set the market at receiver. So I don't feel bad about none of that. You know what I'm saying? The fact that Derek Carr was your homeboy, like, yeah, that came into play, but it was second to $31.5 a year. And so you went over for $31.5 million now. You want to, now. So that it starts there. So at the end of the day, that's what it was about. Like I said, so he's got his bread. So now, does he stick it out or not? I mean, doesn't change. I don't see why he wouldn't, because like I said, I mean, doesn't change where you're going this season. You're not going nowhere. And he's a guy, he is getting older. He's about to touch 30 now officially. He feels like he's been 30 for 2 years.
But see, this the other point. The other part I'm looking at too, Willie Jack, is the fact that is this going to, with Derek Carr not being there, is this going to tarnish his legacy? You know what I'm saying? Because right now, Devontae Adams was more so of a late bloomer in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? In terms of when he really started to take off.
No, for sure. It was his his third or fourth year when he, kind of broke through.
He still was behind Jordy Nelson and Cobb for a couple years, in which he showed flashes in the playoffs against Seattle and stuff like that. But it wasn't until those guys left where he entered into their starter role and really started to blossom as a receiver. But now, without Derek Carr, and maybe I don't know who knows who's going to be his starter, for the next few years, and you coming up on your later years, is this a situation where it's like you don't get the same production, you don't get the same recognition, and you go from a potential, well, he's still a potential Hall of Famer, but like you go from almost having it felt like it would have been more of a for sure thing if you'd had the next 3-4 years with Aaron Rodgers versus now you got 1 year Derek Carr, but who's going to be your starter going forward? A rookie who you don't know, or they get bring a trade in. That's what I'm kind of thinking in terms of that.
No, well, what I would say is, for one, his legacy was already made before he got to Las Vegas. So I don't think anything he was going to do with the Raiders was gonna change his Hall of Fame trajectory. Like, I do feel like he was a guy who had put himself in the mix in that conversation as like a legitimate, like, great receiver.
For sure.
Like, people, like, you know what I'm saying? And he's a guy as well where he's kind of like, he's a receiver's receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a guy that, like, other receivers, like, really respect his game and just kind of what he's about. You know what I mean? Like, he's a pro's pro. Like, he's a rapper's rapper. He's a receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a guy that, like, everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, where opinions other players may polarize, like, the narrative, you know what I'm saying? Different narratives. So, like, you're very hot or very cold. Like, Antonio Brown, for as great as I think he was, he's very polarizing. You know what I'm saying? Like, just as many people who like loved this game like I did, or just many people who hated him. Well, like Devontae, he's a guy to where universally he's kind of respected as like, nah, he's a real one. Like,
Larry Fitzgerald.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a Larry Fitzgerald. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Just a guy that just like guys know, like, nah, man, that's Larry. Like, nah, that's Devontae. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's earned and built that type of cachet over these last 5-6 years. So I think he was already a Hall of Famer. And so I'm looking at his numbers this year, and what did feel like a struggle year, it was very productive. 88 catches, 1,290 yards, 12 touchdowns.
No, for sure. And he could very well end up with 14, could possibly even touch 1,500 yards.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is that's with Derek Carr. Now you don't have Derek Carr.
No, I got you. But what I'm saying is, I got you. But what I'm saying is, as far as just his Hall of Fame credentials, now his Hall of Fame numbers, because like we were saying, he did get a little of a slower start. And so I think he didn't crack 1,000 yards until I think his 4th or 5th year in the league.
I got it right here. He didn't crack 1,000 yards until
I want to say it's like his 4th or 5th year.
His 5th year, yep. His 5th year.
Okay, yeah. Because I remember arguing when people was trying to tell me about Devontae, and I was a little hard on Devontae because I was like, look, man, I'm not gonna have a top 5 conversation about a guy who ain't got 1,000 yards. Like that's where I used to be with Devontae. Yeah. Like I'm not knocking anything we say about him, but boy, until you touch 1,000, get in the club first. Yeah. Don't tell me how fly you are in the parking lot, bro. You know what I'm saying? Get in the club first, man. Get 1,000 yards. You know, so that's why I used to be with him. So he did have a slower start. So he's got 940. He's got 9,400 yards. He does have 85 touchdowns to this point in his career. And so even let's say if there's 3 more Raiders years, I don't know how that contract works. Like I said, I know it's over $30 million a year. I don't know how the dead money plays out, etc. But generally speaking, when somebody signs or re-ups one of those new big contracts, generally you're stuck for the first 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying? So generally the first 2-3 years you're pretty locked in. Before then, like a lot of the dead cap or stuff falls off, and then you can make a move, a cut or a trade at that time, or like you'll see guys get re-upped. So, but realistically, he's just turning 30. Just turned 30 in December on Christmas Eve. So just turned 30. I think he's got 2 very good years. He's got 3 very good years left, I'd say comfortably, and probably 2 more years. The last 2 years of his great. You know what I mean? So I still think he's got a good time. I say all that to say, like, I don't think I think he's going to finish up with somewhere around 12,000 yards, over 100 touchdowns at this pace. He's already got 85. And so, no, I think his Hall of Fame is secured, honestly. And like I said, even as bad as it gets, Derek Carr doesn't look to be the guy that'll be there next year. But that guy's name also isn't going to be Jarrett Stidham that starts next year as well. Right. A lot of moving pieces. And stranger things have happened. There's a couple big name and big money quarterbacks as well coming up. Like I said, we don't know what's going on with Lamar. You know what I mean? We really don't know. There's no guarantees at all that gets done in Baltimore. For you know what I'm saying? So, and I mean, there's just a lot of options out there. But say all that to say, I definitely think his Hall of Fame stuff is definitely secured. I don't feel bad about his homeboy getting cut because they gave you $31 million to get over there anyway. So I don't feel bad about none of that. You know what I'm saying? So I fully expect him to be there unless they find a way to move that contract in a way that's beneficial to them. But
no, for sure. All right.
Hey, man, I did all that talking, man, and didn't even talk about the game, man. San Francisco.
It was worth it. It was worth it, Willie Jack. It was good content, bro. Good content. But go ahead, talk to me.
Yeah, man. Give me San Francisco. Yeah, give me San Francisco on the road to get this thing done, man. And honestly, I think it's going to be, man, you're going to put Jarrett Stidham against what appears to be the very best defense in the league, especially playing at the level and the way they're playing right now this way. Man, this is probably the ugliest matchup any quarterback looking to make their first start could ever hope for as far as this year, how this year has been going. And so I think they go out there and get this done without many issues at all, man. You know what, man? I'm just going old school, a lot to a little. I'm going to go 30-10. 30-10 is just cold for me, bro. It could get ugly, bro. That's a lot to a little. Give me 30-10 San Francisco, man.
The funny part is I had 10 too.
Go get it out. Good, bless you.
Excuse me. But no, funny part is I had 10-2 for the Raiders, man. I don't think they scored much more than that, especially with Jarrett Stidham at the helm and running that quarterback position. But I got San Francisco putting up just a little bit more. I got 34-10. 34-10 final score of this game. I don't think there's any way that the Raiders are able to stop this San Francisco team, especially because they just a well-oiled machine. I don't know any other way to explain it, man. They just rolling. They rolling. Their run game is good. The Raiders defense hasn't been all that either. So I think they're going to continue to run the ball well. Brock Purdy has still been doing what he's supposed to do. And then they activated George Kittle. You know what I'm saying? So we already know that's a different type of monster. I expect him to continue to come out and be successful in this game. So yeah, give me San Francisco in this game, 34-10. I think they take care of business, man.
Gotcha.
All right. Now on to Seattle, man, where we got Big Gino.
Big Gino. Come on.
Where you at, Willie Jack? I ain't see the flex this time, dog.
Man, it's on me to start this one, man. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. I left this one open.
I got you. Don't worry about it. I got the New York Jets going to Seattle to take on Big Gino and the Seahawks. This is a crucial game for both teams again, man. It's gonna be a good week of football because we got a lot of crucial games, a lot of games that a lot of teams. It's on a lot of games on the line for the playoffs. Either you're gonna be able to make it or you ain't, or you're gonna be able to pull it out. The good thing for New York is they got Mike White coming back, baby. Mike White coming back as the starter of the New York Jets. We know this team plays with a different type of energy with him under the helm, and that's why I'm going New York. I'm going New York in this game because of that. That's one of the reasons I'm going with it. I like the way this offense operates when they have Mike White at the QB position and him slinging a rock. I don't think you'll have much, I guess, much stopping you in terms of the Seattle defense and the way that this Jets offense operates. But on the other side of that, we're starting to see, like I said, the Geno that we thought, he's still better than what we thought. But like we're starting to see the Seattle team come down to earth a little bit more. But then on top of that, you're going against also one of the better defenses in the league, especially one of the better passing defenses. So if Seattle wants a chance to win in this game, it's going to have to come because of the feet of Kenneth Walker. They're going to have to do a lot of running, a lot of ground and pound, in order for them to stick with this defense. But that's going to be hard for them to do as well. So give me the Jets in this game. I think this is a good matchup for them. And I think their offense can come out and be on fire and open it up a little bit against the Seattle team that's struggling at the moment. So give me Jets on the road, going to the 12th man, see the 12th man, and they win this game 24-17. 24-17, my final score. They win it by a touchdown. But they take care of business. They defense sealed the deal later in this game.
Yeah, man. And you know what? I'm glad I let you talk that through a little bit because I had to remind myself, man, this game is in Seattle. Like I said, this game is in Seattle. And then I also had to remind myself just who Robert Saleh is and what that New York Jets defense is. This is another little bruh matchup, man. This is another little bruh coming home to Seattle. So Robert Saleh, of course, falls off that Pete Carroll tree before he found his way in San Francisco, and then before he went from San Francisco to New York. So it's a coming home of sorts for Robert Saleh going to Seattle in a game where both these teams need this game to keep their own playoff hopes alive. Seattle much more dire, I guess, of a situation playoff outlook than the Jets, but there's still a chance. I think there's still a chance officially for these Seahawks. And so, if nothing else, they definitely need at least a win today at home. So I'm gonna give it to them. I'm gonna get Big Gino in the gang. One last hoorah, man, to beat little bro Robert Saleh, little bro, and his team coming home to Seattle. So I'll take the 12th man, 27-24 in this one. Mike White, like I said, making his return, man, battling back from some injuries, and so the team definitely does play better, or play with a little more of a spark, or a little more of more urgency, I guess, when he's definitely on the field. And like I said, man, this is definitely make it break it for Seattle. Like I said, so you come out, you're under the radar, you get hot, you run off a couple wins, you get a couple wins that nobody else expects you to get, and then you go a little cold. You run into a cold spell, man. All that early success catches up with you. You kind of float back down towards. You kind of level back out. You float back down towards the middle of the pack, and then now here you are, and you're scrambling at the end of the year, man, to just try to see if you can still give yourself a chance. And I think you live one more week. Seattle. I'll give you guys one more for the road, at home. So I'll have you finishing out this home part of the season for you guys with a victory, 27-24. Big Gino and the gang getting it done. Hey, hashtag he didn't write back, though. Y'all know what's going on with Big Gino. One more for the crib, Big Gino. One more for the crib, man. Let's go.
I got you. I did that one just for you, Willie Jack.
Hey, appreciate you.
Awesome. On to the next game, in which is another game that could have possibly been the game of the week. But You know what I'm saying? We decided to go with one, and it's probably the one everybody knows about. And if you've been paying attention to football, you know what's happening, on Monday night. But let's go ahead and jump into this one. We got Minnesota going to Green Bay to take on the Packers. What's up, Woody? What you talk to me, bro? What you got, man?
Yeah, man, and I got Minnesota at the Minnesota on the road getting this done, man. And so Minnesota on the road getting this done. The better of these two teams this year, without question. Jair Alexander been out here talking spicy in the social medias, man. Talking crazy about the guy, man. He can't be out here wilding like that, man. Now he gonna fool around and get the record broke in Green Bay today, talking crazy like that. I can't believe the nerve of this boy out here talking fluke. He said week one performance of Justin Jefferson when he went out there and completely waxed them boys that first go around. But he said it was a fluke, man. And so, but I like it, man. What else is he supposed to say is the division opponent? And he's a guy as well that he considers himself among the elite. He considers himself a guy.
We're going to find out today.
Hey, exactly right. We're going to find out today. And so I like Jair Alexander, man. I liked him a lot coming in. I want to say, I think he came in from Louisville. I want to say, but I always remember it was a very big corner class, like his class. I think he came in with like 4 or 5 guys, or it might have been 5, 6 guys that we looked past the first round. I want to say like maybe 4 of those guys went at the very top. 2 more of those guys, I think, went right there pretty close to the second. It was a very good group that year, if I remember right, or a group I liked when they were coming in. But anyway, man, so I want to see that action now, boss. You was talking like spicy, man. I want to see that action now, boss, and you got the right one coming to the Packers Stadium there to make you prove and eat all those words, man. So I do think this is definitely going to be an entertaining game. Minnesota still looking to keep the pressure on Philly for that number 1 seed and to still kind of go out there and submit. They're like, nah, this is our division now, Playboy. You know what I'm saying? This the one. You got Big Bruh leaning. You know what I'm saying? Take a lot to top of Big Bruh, man. You got Big Bruh leaning. You got him reeling. You know what I mean? You got 4 more wins that he's got in this division. You're going on the road. You can really go in there and smack them right down. You know what I'm saying? And really kind of put your foot down and put your stamp down and let them know that this is your division now. And I think they get that done, man. Kirk Cousins is lighting it up. Justin Jefferson can't be guarded, which we already know. TJ Hockenson is playing very good now in his new home, man. So he's really settled into that number two spot behind Justin Jefferson, man. And then you still got Dalvin Cook, man, slicing and dicing, and like I said, and making his presence known. You know what I'm saying, when he's needed most. And so, give me Minnesota to get it done. Give me Justin Jefferson as a player of the week, and give me Minnesota. Give me Minnesota. I'm gonna go big, man. I'm gonna go 31-23. I think Green Bay sticks around in this one for maybe for a little while, but I think Minnesota pulls away. Minnesota pulls away at some point in this game where Green Bay is going to trade a 3 for a Minnesota 7, and they never get close enough again, and then Minnesota finishes this thing on out. But 31-23, give me Justin Jefferson, man. Justin Jefferson to go out there and leave his mark on this game. I don't even know the yardage though, because like he needs like 240 to break 2,000 or like 244.
He needs
244. Give him 144. Give him 144 today. Give him 144 today to go and to go ahead and smooth it out. 144 and 2 touchdowns today because they scoring 4 touchdowns. 144 and 2 touchdowns a day is going to leave a real easy honey bun for the last week of the year to go ahead and hit 2,000, which he will do. All right, Isaiah here still wilding. He said Green Bay by 2 touchdowns.
Hey, listen here. I'm gonna go ahead and I got a couple words for you, Willie Jack. The first word is relax. Okay. That's the first thing I'm gonna say to you, bro. Is relax. I don't know if y'all remember that is and know what I'm talking about there. Relax. I got Green Bay in this game. The next thing I'm gonna say, I think it's about time for us to make a bet, Willie Jack. You owe me 10 push-ups, by the way. But I think it's about time for us to make a 10 push-up bet. You ready for this one?
Come on with it.
Justin Jefferson, guarded by Jair Alexander for the majority of this game, does not go over 75 yards receiving.
Chop. See,
Do
this
you
is
hear
see
me?
this see look
Do you hear me?
see look that see Chop. This is what you don't understand. You see, Justin Jefferson had 75 yards. He fell out of bed this morning. He fell out of bed with 75 yards. He had 75 yards on the way to the bathroom and brushed his teeth. See, this is what y'all don't understand. See, some of this stuff, it's already too late on some of this stuff. It's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? The GOAT. He show up to the stadium with. He's cruising on 80. He's approaching 80 on the way to the stadium because he fell out of bed with 75. That's what y'all don't understand. See, you're already in the hole. That's what y'all don't get. But hey, whatever you want to do, man. I don't mind. We can do 10 together, or does that just wash my tally? You know what I'm saying? Does my 10 wash out, or do we just do 10 as a unit? But
I think we should do if I lose, we should do 10 on our live together.
10 as a unit. Hey, there we go. There we go. Yeah, I appreciate you, bro.
But it's gonna be you doing 20. That's what it's really gonna be.
Yeah, like I said, hey, Jefferson fall out of bed with 75 yards, man.
Hey, but we got listeners in here. I need somebody that heard that, man. Just type bet in the chat, man. Type bet in the chat. If you heard what me and Willie Jack just talked about, type bet in the chat.
Hey,
everybody know what's going on, man. Justin Jefferson won't get 75 yards in this game. If he get, and let's make this clear, because if he gets 75 on the nose, that's you win. I'm saying he gets less than 75. He gonna get set. He gonna get less than 75 yards in this game. There we go. OG Dubs heard it. You know
OG Dubs,
man. Juice in the building. You know what I'm saying?
The Juice was good.
We know what's going on, man. We know what's going on. So there you go. But I'm going Green Bay in this game, Willie Jack. I think that this Minnesota defense is different. That they're not the same Minnesota defense that they were earlier in this season. And I think that's going to hurt them in this particular game because one thing with the Giants, like I said last week, the Giants ran the ball pretty well against this Minnesota defense. But now you're talking about a heavy run Green Bay team with A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones healthy. Both of them actually are playing this game. They're slated to play. They come into this game, they're going to run this ball heavy. And not only that, Aaron Rodgers is still not playing bad ball, but they're playing the type of ball where they know they can't lose another game. They know this. I watched them go for it on at least about 5 fourth downs this past game. One of them was a fake punt that they went for. It got a first down. But they went for it like on 5 fourth downs. 2 or 3 of them were in their own territory. This is a team that's playing with everything to lose. They letting it all out. They hanging the onions. And, hey, I'm behind a team like that, man. I'm behind the Green Bay team like that. Because you mean to tell me Green Bay is going to go into this game and they're going to give you every single thing they got? They're going to give you 100%? And you think you about to come away out here and come away with this W with the way that y'all been playing the last few weeks? I don't see it happening, dog. I don't see it happening. I think Aaron Rodgers is on his way to another playoff run, man. Not another playoff run, but another playoff spot. And they're gonna find their way into that where Washington is at. They're gonna be that 7th seed because the Giants, they already locked up the 6th seed. So Green Bay is gonna lock up that 7th seed with this. If they keep on winning, and this is gonna be a big one here. This is probably one of the biggest ones. They got to come away with this one. Yeah, so I got Green Bay over the Minnesota Vikings at home, and they win this one 27-24. 27-24, man. Green Bay over Minnesota. You hear me? You hear me, Willie Jack? You hear me?
I mean, I hear you talking, man.
Hey, man, I ain't playing around today.
Man, if Justin Jefferson got less than 75 yards, boy, that could have been a shutout. That could have been a goose. If Justin Jefferson got less than 75.
No, they still got a lot of other weapons, man. I ain't gonna just discredit Dalvin Cook and T.J. Hockenson and Adam Thielen and
Adam who? First off, Adam Thielen, man. Adam Thielen.
Hold on. I'm gonna remind everybody, Willie Jack.
Hey, Adam Thielen's still in checks, man.
Hey, you said he's still in checks.
Adam Thielen's still in checks.
Hey, y'all, Willie Jack used to tell me Adam Thielen was better than Stephon Diggs.
Come on, man. This guy, because Jeremy Chop was the guy.
That wasn't me, bro.
This whole, you was.
That was you, bro. I
put you on the spot with him, because I was like, bro, in 30 years, is Adam Thielen going to be considered to have been a great receiver?
No.
Because of the run of numbers that he had, because you was staying on that run of numbers that he had. And
I was talking Jordy Nelson. That's
bro. We
Jordy Nelson was my guy. Adam Thielen was your guy.
No, bro. No, he was the example I made, bro. He was the example, like, bro. At no point, regardless of his numbers, when we watched him play football, at no point, the argument I used to say is when we watch him play, at no point did we ever say that Adam Thielen was a top 5 receiver, regardless of like a 1,400. You know what I'm saying? That was the whole point of the argument I was saying.
Hey, yeah, I wish I had our phone conversations recorded, man. See, that's why I wish we could have recorded. We had some good stuff, bro. We was going back and forth. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Well, no. The part of that conversation what we did talk about was because his number production used to be better than Diggs, but he wasn't like better than Diggs. But like number wise, that's why Diggs had to get out of there and go to Buffalo because, like I said, I mean, he was getting all the attention, but wasn't getting any of the real production.
Yeah, he wanted someone. He wanted to rock.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. All right, well, let's keep on pushing, man.
Jet is under 75, boy. You crazy.
All right, we're gonna see, man. Yeah, we're gonna see. We already bet already made. Ain't no more talking.
Yeah, bet good.
Ain't no more talking necessary. On to the next one, Willie Jack. I would say Los Angeles is going to Los Angeles, but that just don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? So we got a home game for two teams. Actually, it just depends on who got the most fans that show up. So we're gonna see. But we got the Rams facing off against the Chargers in LA, of course, and I'm gonna go LA in this game.
Really? Surprise.
Yeah, no, I'm going Chargers in this game, man. I'm going Chargers in this one. I think they've hit a certain groove where they're figuring out how to win. They're figuring out how to win. Does it look as clean? No, it doesn't look as clean. Their run game still needs some help. There's still some certain areas they need some work in, but I think they got a good matchup this week against the Rams team. Yeah, they scored 51 points last week with your boy. You know what I'm saying? I want to see if you do it this week. Pull that big bake this week, Willie Jack. Come on with it. Let me in the doubt. Pull it in this week. But now they had a good matchup last week, and I think they got a good one this week too. I think this is the Rams saying, yeah, they playing some good ball under Sean McVay. Sean McVay putting some good things in place and showing that he still is a very good coach. He still can get a team prepared, and come up with a good game plan. And that showed last week. But I just don't think that sometimes, like I said before, early in the season, like you can put together a game plan, man. But if your players can't get it done, if another team is just more superior, they're just more superior. And that's what I think they're gonna face come against today against this Chargers team is a team that's ready to go. The defense is actually starting to step and play a little bit better right now. And it's going to be a rough one for the Rams today. So give me the Chargers in this one. I think the Chargers come out and they pass the ball and they do pretty solid in this game. And I think they win this one. Give them 28, 27, 16. 27-16 win over the Rams. That's your team, though, Isaiah. That's your team. Look at this dude. You ain't gonna do it. Stop pump faking, man.
Hey, man.
You ain't gonna do it.
Hashtag Big Bacon in the chat right now, man. Y'all gonna learn today. Y'all gonna learn today, man. Shout out to my dog Eeek in the building, man. He said, y'all gonna learn about these mediocre Chargers today, man. And this right here, Eeek, man, this here, my boy, is gonna be this is gonna be just it right now, man. I'm going ahead and give you all the ammunition you need, Eeek, for the next time we get into the chat, cuz I'll give you all the ammunition you need. You can screen record. Let me tell you about these man. Let me tell you about these mediocre Chargers, man. They already got their playoff spot sold up. So that's for one. So and they're not in a position where they can increase like their rank or their like seeding. Like I think they're locked in at 6. Like they can't get the 5th spot from the Ravens. I don't believe. Yeah, I think they're 2 games back of the Ravens. And so I don't think they can get the 5th seed for the Ravens. So I think they're locked into that 6. Now they're another team though, kind of like I was saying before when I was talking about who was that? Well, I was talking about Jacksonville, where they can't afford to take their foot off the gas. You know what I mean? Like they need to go into this. They need to go into the playoffs, hitting on all cylinders. Like I said, they're trying to get healthy at a couple key positions for sure. And like I said, they need to build and go into, like I said, this playoff run, man. just as strong and as competent as they can. And so stacking these wins, especially against what should be a soft target in the Rams. So this is a very winnable game. It's at home in the Rams Stadium, the Rams Stadium that they borrow and share. So it's essentially a Rams home game, with them being there tagging along as the stepsister that nobody likes. What you say?
No, I was going to point out what Isaiah said, because I just saw that too. So they can get it. So right now, the Baltimore is 10-5.
Yeah.
And the Chargers are 9-9. No, they're 9-6.
Oh, 9-6. Okay.
Yeah. So if they win the next two and Baltimore loses the next two, yeah, so they can't. So there's a chance. It's a small chance they move up.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the game Baltimore got today, they ain't playing nobody for real.
Yeah. It didn't matter because they ain't gonna beat Big Bank anyway. And so it didn't change what I had to say. They ain't gonna beat Big Bank. Point of it all was they ain't gonna beat Big Bank today in the game that they should win, because they're not mediocre, and they should be able to win and pick up against teams that have stopped playing football competitively intentionally for the last 3 weeks. Rams have accidentally rattled off a couple wins here with Big Bake, and then the trend doesn't stop today. Give me Big Bake in the upset, man, at the crib as the away team, 27-24. 27-24. Don't ask me how they're going to get to 27. I don't know what Ben Skoronek's going to do today. You know what? Cam Akers could have another solid day. Cam Akers paced the way for them last week, man, with a very good productive day on the ground. I think he had like around 110, 120 yards, 1 or 2 touchdowns. And so if they could get that type of production from Cam Akers today for sure, then we've seen that Big Baker, Bake can go out there and do what else needs to be done to get to a victory. He can go out there and hit Ben Skoranek. He can go out there and hit Tyler Higbee, who's coming back into the starting lineup for this game as well. Because we have seen the connection that Baker and Higbee have had in the limited time just since Baker's got there. I think Baker's thrown on 4 touchdowns in 3 games or something to that effect, or maybe 3 touchdowns in the 2 games they played together. But anyway, and so they can get something going there. That Rams defense, man, is still devoid of, I guess, the biggest star on that defense. But you still got Jalen Ramsey. You still got Leonard Floyd. You still got Bobby Wagner. You know what I'm saying? And so you still got a very scrappy bunch who's out there just, like I said, just playing for pride. They're out there just playing every week to try to take out their frustrations. A team that was a champion last year that fell all the way from the top of the mountain all the way back down to the bottom of the mountaintop now. And so they're playing pissed off, and every week is just a chance for them to get the workout on somebody else on a live target instead of somebody else at practice. But I'm going to take them to get it done, man. 27-24. And yeah, like I said, the Chargers still going to the playoff. I don't see the Chargers take up. Yeah, no, I don't think they get that 5th seed. I don't think they get that 5th seed. Give me Big Bake at the crib, man, 27-24.
Okay.
That was just for you, Ike. That's just for you, Playboy. You better hope Herbert don't do nothing foolish today. You better hope Herbert better not do nothing foolish today. I'll make sure you hear about it in the chat.
You're going for Ike. And then also I want to point out a couple of things Isaiah talked about, man. He pointed out, so they do have the tiebreaker over the Bengals and the Ravens. The Chargers do. So they only if they end up with the same record, the Chargers can get the 5 seed. So yeah, I think that's a little different than what we said, but appreciate that, Isaiah. Appreciate the information, man, and letting us know what's going on with that.
It's all good.
Yeah. What'd you say? Big Bake still gonna come over with the W anyway?
Big Bake gonna win anyway.
All right. Well, anyway, Willie Jack, you talk. It's your turn. Talk to me, man, because this next game we got another divisional matchup, and this is one of those, man. Buckle your chin straps. Buckle your chin straps, because we already know how these two teams coming, man, in this rivalry. Over the years, we got Pittsburgh going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Willie Jack, come on, man. Talk to me, dog.
Yeah, man. So they moved us to the primetime spot. Honestly, man, at this point, man, Pittsburgh, man, we playing to keep Coach Tomlin's streak alive, man. We playing to finish above 500. We need these next 2 wins to do it. This first one tonight, man, against Baltimore in Baltimore. And I'm taking my boys, man. I'm taking my boys on the road to go get that done, 24-20. And then honestly, man, it still should be. It's definitely going to be a competitive game. Honestly, it's a 50-50 game, man. It is. It just really is. Tyler Huntley still making the start for Baltimore. But honestly, like I said, man, what we said before, for his skill set and what that offense likes to accomplish, man, they're every bit as dangerous, or maybe not every bit as dangerous, but they're still plenty dangerous with Tyler Huntley in the backfield, and so Definitely another we can keep short in this game. I mean, this is going to be this is just the way these games always play out. You know what I mean? So which team gets their run game going, which team's run defense shows up, and then, like I said, which team minimizes or comes out on the winning side of the turnover battle, and that's likely the team that's going to win this game. And so hopefully it's my guys today. Like I said, I'm going 24-20, assuming we get it done. Man, the defense is coming back alive a little bit. Cam Hayward played one of probably his best game of the season last week against the Raiders, completely dominated that game from the inside. And so looking to get another big week from him today, especially as well disrupting Baltimore run offense. Like I said, they really want to get this game going and control it from the run game. Am worried about Roquan Smith playing absolutely possessed. This is exactly what we talked about. What we talked about when it first was mentioned that he was going to be on the move. I was like, boy, I hate to see him in Baltimore, boy. It's going to be nice out. And then lo and behold, there he is, man. And so, man, he's really turned it on and looks great. That defense has went to another place with him being right there in the middle, kind of solidifying things for them. So very tough and tall task for us today, man. But yeah, we here for it, man. 24-20 on the road in Baltimore. This is a Black Forces game right here, Chop. It's a Black Forces game, man. It might be time. I don't know if Mike dusted them off or not, but this is one of those games, man, where you pull them Black Forces out, man.
Yeah, definitely need them this game. Y'all gonna definitely need them this game. Y'all gonna definitely need them. I'm gonna go Baltimore in this game, 20-17. I think they come away with the clean sweep. Mm-hmm. Of course, these teams do divisional teams, so they faced off earlier this year, and Baltimore came away with the W. I think it was 16-14 that game. Mm-hmm. But now this time around, Roquan is an addition, like you said. You know, he's been added since the last time, and I just think that's going to be the bigger difference. Now, Pittsburgh hasn't been playing bad defense; they've been playing some solid defense as of late too. But I think this Baltimore defense is a little bit better, and I think the difference is going to be the consistency on offense. Because one thing about the Pittsburgh offense is you'll catch them in games where, you know, they'll be moving the ball, you know, and doing some things, but then can he pick it up, throw an interception, or, you know, they'll make a mistake, you know. And this is a game you can't have those. You can't have those type of games, man. It's gonna be that bit. You said it, Willie Jack. You can't have those in these matchups, and I think Pittsburgh has a chance to still make the playoffs, but I think the chances are done today.
Yeah, man, there's so much. Like we need to win. We need the Jets to lose. We also need the Dolphins to lose.
Yeah. Y'all got a lot going on, bro.
Yeah,
it's not gonna pull it off.
I ain't even tripping on that, man. I would need Mike Tomlin needs 9 wins, man. Mike T need 9 wins, man. That's where I'm at with it, man. Let's get Mike to 9, man, and we'll stay in the lab, rebuilding, and get right back like we never left.
Gotcha. All right, Willie Jack. We pretty much went through all of them except for the game of the week, man. This is the game I'm gonna be looking forward to. Everybody's gonna have their eyes on this game. We talking about two of the best teams in the AFC right now. We got the Buffalo Bills and Big Josh Allen going to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals and Joe Cool, Joe Burrow, Joe Beasy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We got the two QBs facing off. Maybe this is all right, who's the better QB type game? You know what I'm saying? And we can paint all those narratives, but we know it's a lot more than that. You know what I'm saying? But that's just to pump the game up a little bit more, man. You know what I'm saying? Which guy's going to come out on top? Willie Jack, you got your boy, Big Josh, going to Cincinnati. Who you got in this game, man? This is a big one, bro.
Man, this is a big one, man. This is a big game. This
game also has a lot of implications in terms of who could be the number 1 overall seed.
Seeding is very big in this game, man. So Buffalo hasn't guaranteed or locked in that number 1 seed over Kansas City, and Cincinnati still hasn't secured that division over Baltimore as well. And so there's still some seeding at play between the 3 and the 5 seed, and like I said, the 1 and 2 seed. And so a lot of playoff movement hinges on this game for sure. And this one, man, honestly, this could be an AFC game championship preview. This could be a preview of the AFC championship game. So it's not unlikely at all that these two teams could circle back and play and meet each other again here in maybe 3-4 weeks. And so this first matchup is going to be on the road at Cincinnati. And man, that is the home field advantage in this one, man, for me is going to be such a crucial play. Because you've got 2 of the guys at the very top of the position for me and Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, I think, has played the best quarterback, played the best quarterback this year from top to bottom, man. When I go back and sit back and actually look on it from top to bottom. He dealt with adversity. He dealt with, the team being banged up and injured around him. The team just not playing well around him. All that, man. And he was the modem of consistency and just elevating the play around him, man. Everything that I talked to Eeek about, man, we talk about Herbert, man. These are the things that we saw Joe Burrow do and do it at a phenomenal level, man. So definitely playing good ball. Big Josh, man, of course, y'all know where I'm at with Big Josh, man. That's my dog, man. Like I said, now up and down year for him, especially more down than late. We did hear the news that broke about the elbow injury. And then honestly, man, I think that's played a big part in the level of his play the second half of this season. I mean, there's been a definitive drop, I guess, in the level of his quarterback play from when we first got word or notice of the potential issue with the elbow. And so say all that to say, man, the lights is on though, Chop. The lights is on. It's time to show up, man. Like I said, man, the live bullets is firing, and I'm taking my guy, man. I'm taking Big Josh on the road. Now, this is a tall order, and I don't feel bad about a loss here because, like I said, man, it's no soft targets on the other side, and I don't have any doubt that Joe Burrow is going to go out there and do what he needs to get this game done as well, man. So 50-50 game for me, man. I'll fall on the side of Big Josh going into the game, and I'm going to go 30-27 in an absolute barn burner, Chop. I'm talking about an absolute back and forth, just man, one of those games where there's going to be some points scored here, but I don't think it's going to be a bad defensive game. I really think it's going to be one of those games where just both quarterbacks just make the plays. Like you can't there's no perfect defense for a perfect pass. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's gonna be one of those nights, I hate where it's a shootout and it's just ugly defense on both sides, and anybody could have did anything they wanted to. I don't think it's gonna be one of those. I think it's gonna be one of those where both defenses make both quarterbacks be perfect, and we just get a night where both quarterbacks are perfect. You know what I mean? We've seen that with Big Josh and Patty a couple years ago in the playoff game. You know what I mean? We're just both those guys were just perfect. You know what I'm saying? So I think we can get another style of that type of matchup, and I'm pulling for Big Josh to pull out on top, man. 30-27 on the road Monday night. That is a tall order against a real championship contender. Joe Burrow coming back for his lick, boy, and they making moves to do it, man. So that's gonna be a tough tall order. I can't wait to see that one. I can't wait to see it, man. Yeah. Give me Big Josh though.
Okay, well, give me 27-24, man. I'm gonna go 6 points shorter than you, man. Did I say 6? Well, yeah, 3 less for each team. You know what I'm saying? 27-24. But see, I'm going Cincinnati in this one, man. I'm going Cincinnati. And the keys for me for both teams are going to be this. First off, for Josh Allen, man, this game can go either way. It's tough teams, like you said, a lot of implications. But for Josh Allen, last week, I saw the Buffalo team that I would prefer to see in the playoffs and moving forward. I saw a team that, like you said, Josh Allen that didn't have to score 35. All he needed was a good smooth 25 points, a few rebounds, few assists in order for this team to win, and let his other guys kind of step in and do their thing, in which they had 254 yards on the ground. So that's the Buffalo team that I want to see. That's the team that I think could be very, very dangerous because you always got Josh Allen's arm. You always got his athleticism. You always got his playmaking ability. But to rely solely on that, I think it is where they run into a little bit of trouble. So, but you got that in your back pocket. You know what I'm saying? Your ace is there. But as far as your regular game plan, Josh Allen he can play some good ball. You know what I'm saying? We've seen that. So I think that's the style of ball that I want to see Buffalo play that will put them in a great position to win this game, control the game, and just be more manageable of the game than just an all-out, we finna run it up on you. You know what I'm saying? So get more of that style of play. For Cincinnati, the one spot that they have, I think they can attack on this Buffalo team would be, I would say, the Buffalo's run defense. Not that it's bad, but I've seen, certain teams or certain situations where, teams were able to run on them a little bit. They were able to, get up and down the field and move the chains, by adding a little bit of that to their game. Now, Cincinnati hasn't been a heavy run team throughout this season, but the one thing that they can do, like I talked about last week, was the dink and dunk. the passes that are runs, the 4-yard pass here, the 5-yard pass here. They can put them in those positions. They're very good at that. Which are a lot easier throws for Joe Burrow. So if they continue to do that, I think they'll be just fine on offense. This would be the perfect game to have Von Miller right now. I think not having Von Miller in this game is going to show up a little bit for Buffalo. This is where you're going to actually be able to see where they missed Von Miller in this particular game, because he can be the guy to come in, close this game out, or make a great impact, a huge turnover play in a key situation to turn that ball over, put Buffalo in a good situation, and they do their thing. So I'm going to say Cincinnati in this particular game, because of like you said, the way Joe Burrow has been playing and the way this offense is orchestrated, and when it comes to these big plays, I like Chase. I think Chase is going to be a huge difference maker. A big body receiver on the outside, man. Well, actually, I ain't gonna even say big body, but a guy that plays big. He plays like.
No, I get what you're saying. Oh yeah, man. I be having to remind myself that Chase isn't 6'2", 220. Like you got to remind yourself he's not. Yeah.
So you got a big play guy in Jamar Chase on the outside, man. It's gonna come down to plays like that. He's coming off of a game where he had a crucial fumble in it. I think he wants to come back and have a huge impact in this game this week. And this could very well be one of his blow-up games. Jamar Chase on any given week is good for 180 yards, 2 or 3 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? He good.
I don't know, man. It's been a lot of injuries this year. We haven't really seen that guy this year. Not 180 and 3 touchdowns, bro. That's
we seen it before he got hurt.
I don't know, man. I don't know if that's a tall man.
And what I'm saying is we may not see that. We may not see that, but I'm saying on any given week he's capable. He is very capable.
That's strong. Like that's a top 5 single game performance of all time. Like I don't know how many 180 and 3 touchdown games there's been in the history of the game. Like, man, you can't just fall out of. You can't just show up one of them, man.
Bruh. Against Kansas City alone, he had about 224 and 3 touchdowns.
I do. I remember.
He's good for it. I mean, it can happen, is what I'm saying. It can happen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Jamar Chase is that type of receiver. You know what I'm saying? So it could be one of those days, but I think that those type of players are going to be the difference makers in this particular game. And that's why I'm going Cincinnati 27-24 in a very close, very entertaining game. I just got Cincinnati coming out on top in this one, 27-24.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie, man, because Cincinnati's offensive line is still nothing at all to write home about as far as pass protection. And like, even though Buffalo's defensive line, I mean, you don't have Vine, which was was definitely the silver bullet in that arsenal, but you still got a very deep D-line rotation. I mean, so Buffalo and Philly, as far as the Eagles, probably run the deepest defensive line rotations in the league. And so they've got 7 guys they rotate comfortably on that defensive line to keep guys fresh and keep fresh waves of guys coming with pressure. And so especially if it gets to a point in this game where it turns into Burrow ball versus Big Josh ball, where both these teams have a want to forget about the run game and just kind of put the game in the hands of both their generals. You know what I mean? And so that can happen very easily for both these games. Now, both these quarterbacks are also very mobile. Now, Big Josh more so in actually getting up the field and being a contributing part of the run game. But Joe Burrow, as far as buying himself life in the pocket, and then he can scramble and get out there and steal 12 yards from you on one that you had everything buttoned up, because you forget about him as a threat as well. But he's a guy that we've seen. He can buy himself time. Getting hit 8 sacks in this game won't affect Joe Burrow's potential to win this game. We've seen that. You know what I'm saying? That's special. I don't feel comfortable. If you told me Patty got sacked 10 times, I don't feel comfortable in saying it didn't matter. That, like, I expect him to lose that game. You told me Joe Burrow got sacked 8 or 10 times, don't mean nothing. He could have still won that game. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, oh, okay. That's like saying Big Josh, you know what I'm saying, only had 50 yards of rushing from the team. Oh, okay. It didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't matter. And so, man, that's a very interesting matchup, man. It is. And it is at home in Cincinnati. So that's and you know what, man, Cincinnati, this is a good one for you as well, because in the Super Bowl last year, 2 plays away from probably being Super Bowl champions. You know what I'm saying? We know what those plays are. It is what it is. You start this year, you start ugly. 5 turnovers and a loss at home on the road against a struggling rebuilding Steelers team. So, like, just the whole story of Cincinnati this year, man, Joe Burrow, I'm telling you, like if not Jalen Hurts, and I still think it's fair to say Jalen Hurts. If not Jalen Hurts, then I think Joe Burrow would have been the MVP of this league for me. If not for Jalen Hurts in the year that him and the Eagles had, man, just for just everything that we've just seen Joe Burrow, just seen him overcome, and how none of this stuff that matters, man. None of that stuff matters. That's what I always say. All the other little stuff, man, don't tell me the wind was blowing and it was raining outside, and man, he stubbed his toe when he fell out of bed, and man, somebody ran over his dog on the way, so his stomach was upset when he got to the stadium. It don't matter, man. It's Joe Burrow, man. I'm here to play ball, bro. You know what I'm saying, man? Don't matter, man. My name is Patty Cakes, man. I like ketchup and football, man. That's what we do, man. You know what I'm saying? Like when you one of the ones, none of that matter, man. And Joe Burrow is one of those guys. And so, man, I'm super excited to see this, man. This super excited. I can't be mad. I can't be mad if Big Josh take the L on that one, man. Like I said, that's a real. That's a
real good contender. Real good contender.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like that's like like y'all know how I get, man. If you win them run, if you win them ones, man, I give you your respect. Like I said, so I can't knock Cincinnati and nothing they got going on at all, man. Cincinnati, Joe Burrow's 1-on-1s over there.
All right. I hear you. All right, Willie Jack, man, run me back your performer of the week, man. Who's your performer of the week this week?
Oh man, I'm going Jettas, man. Jettas. Jair Alexander was out here talking spicy, man, so he gotta get spanked because we don't play that. We don't play that at all, man. I told you, man, we fall out of bed with 75. And so we're going for 144 and 2 touchdowns today, man. We're going to make it a real smooth honey bun for the last week to get 2,000, man. It's going to be a real smooth, it's going to be an even smooth honey bun next week. We need 244 for 2K. So we're going to get 144 2 touchdowns today, man. JJ2K born after the day, man. JJ2K, let's go, man. Come on, man.
All right, JJ2K born. He coming soon. Yeah. And my performer of the week, man, is none other than Alvin Kamara, man. New Orleans Saints. I told y'all, man, New Orleans about to go out. They about to go upset Philly on the road because they are fighting for their playoff spot. They hungry. They're a cornered animal. They are their backs against the wall in the alley. And you know what I'm saying? And they got about 4-5 guys on them. You know what I'm saying? So they coming out fighting. They coming out swinging. Hey, and they going to their guy. You know what I'm saying? So 150 yards total. What did I say? Did I say 2 touchdowns? 2 touchdowns from Alvin Kamara, man. Yep. He is my performer of the week, and a huge game for New Orleans on the road to go in and upset Philadelphia, man. So that's my performer of the week.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. You picked a good one. You picked a good one. I ain't gonna lie.
I appreciate it, bro.
If they do that, it had to be that way. So yeah, for sure.
All right, man. But hey, look, we 3 minutes away from kickoff, man. What's going on, Willie Jack? I think it's about time for you to go and let everybody know.
Hey,
wrap it on up for us.
Hey, there we go, man. Hey, that's it. That's all, man. The first one for 2023 in the books, man. The first one for 2023 in the books, man. Hope everybody had a fun and safe holiday weekend, man. Hope you kicked it with your folks. Hopefully, y'all look and feel and sound better than me and Chop do this morning, man. So, man, hey, like I said, hope everybody was had fun and was safe with the family, man. 2023, man. We right here, 2 minutes till kickoff, man. The final 2 weeks of the season, man. Get them picks in for my dog Chop, man. Hopefully y'all fantasy seasons came out a little better than mine. I was dominating all year, and then just in the first week of the playoffs, but just got complete just gooses from the roster. Somebody out there got to feel my pain, man. But it is what it is, man. It's all good.
Hey, man, speaking of that, Willie Jack, let me go and give a quick shout out, man, to our 2 championship contenders. Well, yeah, contenders, man. Right now we got in the championship, man. We got Isaiah Holmes. What?
Man, don't say that. I get a championship.
Ike is in the championship game in the Let the Film Speak Fantasy League. He's going against my brother-in-law, man, Tori, and Isaiah Holmes. The number 1 and number 2 seed in the playoffs, man. They going at it. They going head to head, man, in the championship, man. So good luck to both of y'all. Hey, as me and Willie Jack promised, we got something for y'all for the winner of this, man. So hey, just stay tuned. Good luck to y'all.
Ike, man, you better bring it home, man. Ike, you better bring it home, man.
Hey, I love you, Ike. Man, but I'm rooting for my brother-in-law, man. I hope my brother-in-law tell you up, bro.
He said #1 public enemy, man. Ike, go ahead and bring it home, man. I ain't mad at you. Go ahead and bring it home, man. But hey, there y'all have it, man. We right now, man, and we 60 seconds from kickoff, man. Everybody have fun, man. Relax. Get yourself real comfortable. Drink your bottle of water. I'm assuming y'all had some adult beverages yesterday, man. Go ahead and balance yourself back out, big dog. But yeah, have fun, be safe, man. Watch these games, enjoy with your folks, man. The chat will be open, man. I'll be in there talking.
Isaiah, you need to play Jahan Dotson, dog.
Hey, play Jahan Dotson.
Play
You heard my
Jahan
dog Chop
Dotson,
said.
dog.
Hey, my dog Chop just said Jahan Dotson is his time, man. He said he next one up, man. So yeah, y'all go ahead and tap in and see what that boy do. Other than that, man, hey, we appreciate the love and support as always, man. That's it. That's all. We will be right back on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. See where Chop went wrong and Willie went right. Yeah. Hey, y'all know what's going on, man. Eeek was in the building, man, today. My home team, man, my moms came through real quick, man. No boss, no glory. They showed through, man. Other than that, man, hey, I'm sorry, man. Y'all got to forgive me, man. Charge it to my head, man. Don't charge it to my heart. You know I'm thinking about you, man. Y'all have fun to be safe. Football is started, man. So we're going to get about this thing, man. Peace.
Peace.